In this video, I'm going to show you how to build this really awesome habit tracker in Google Sheets. But before we build it, let me show you how it works. You just enter your different habits here, as well as the number of times you'd like to perform each habit on a weekly basis. Near the top, you can type in whatever start date you want, and this will update the numbers and weekday indicators automatically. This makes it easy for you to set up the tracker at the beginning of every month. And to set up a new month, you just duplicate the tab below and reset the start date to make things easy. From there, you just check off each habit as you go, and you can see your progress for each week, as well as your overall progress right over here. Now, to help you out, I've included a start file in the description that already has all of the formatting done. That way we can get straight into the formulas and functionality of the spreadsheet. So be sure to grab it before you start building. Also, if you don't have time to build this spreadsheet, you can still get a completed version. It's one of the spreadsheets available to members of my Google Sheets school community. And if you don't know what that is, then check out the link in the description to see what it's all about. That being said, let's get started. The first thing we'll do is add in all of the checkboxes. Start by selecting the space under week 1, then hold Control or Command if you're a Mac user, and also select the spaces under the other weeks as well. With all 5 selected, go to Insert, Checkbox. To change the size of checkboxes, you need to adjust the font size. To change the color, you adjust the text color, and feel free to customize them however you want. Then, go ahead and check a few for now. Next, let's calculate the month numbers just above the checkboxes. Start in cell F5 and enter equals and select the start date. This gives you the day number of the start date, but we're referencing the whole date, so why do we only see the day number? This is because I've set up the number formatting to show it this way. If you click on the More Formats button and select Custom Date and Time, you can see that I've set up a custom number format that is only the day. Now, for all of the other numbers, in cell G5, enter equals F5 plus 1. This gives you the very next date, and use the fill handle to copy the formula over for the rest of the week. Then, in cell N7, enter equals L5 plus 1. Then, in O5, enter N5 plus 1, and copy the formula over with the fill handle. Now select N5 through T5, and copy. Select V5, right-click, paste Special, Formula Only, and we do it this way to preserve the formatting that I've already set up for you. Next, select AD5, right-click, paste Special, Formula Only, and select AL5, right-click, paste Special, Formula Only. Next, we're going to add a little conditional formatting to gray out any numbers that don't belong in the same month of the start date. To do this, select F5 through AR5 and go to Format, Conditional Formatting. Under Format Cells If, select Custom Formula Is. For the formula, enter equals, the month function, $B, $3, close parentheses, less than, greater than, month function, F5, and close parentheses. Then under formatting style, set the fill color to none, and the text color to dark gray too. Awesome. Now for the weekday indicators on the top. Select cell F4 and enter the formula, equals, left function, text function, F5, next argument, quote, 3Ds, quote, close parentheses, and press enter. Now, before we copy this formula over, let's talk about how it works. The text function takes the date value in cell F5 and turns it into the 3-letter abbreviation for whatever weekday the date falls on, so in this case, Saturday, SAT. The left function then extracts the first letter on the left, which gives us S. And once you have it working, copy the formula over to cell L4 using the fill handle. Then select F4 through L4 and copy. Select N4, right-click, paste special, formula only. Select V4, right-click, paste special, formula only. Select AD4, right-click, paste special, formula only. And select AL4, right-click, paste special, formula only. Now, whenever you change the start date, the numbers and weekday letters all update accordingly. Okie dokie, now let's calculate the complete and incomplete numbers below. Start in cell C17 and enter the following formula. Equals COUNTIF function F6 through AR15, next argument true, close parentheses and press enter. Now, since any checkbox is equal to true, this formula uses the COUNTIF function to add up all the cells in the F6 through AR15 range that contain checked checkboxes, or in other words, completed habits. Next, let's calculate the total number of incomplete habits. Now this formula is a little complicated, so let's carefully add it in first, and then I'll explain how it works. So enter equals let function x, next argument, sum function, C6 through C15, add dollar signs to make this an absolute reference, close parentheses, times 5, next argument, if function, C17 greater than x, next argument, 0, next argument, x minus C17, close parentheses twice, and press enter. Okay, so how does this formula work? First, the let function creates a variable called x, and it assigns this calculation to it, the calculation that we've entered for the second argument. Finally, the let function performs the calculation in the third argument. It replaces x with the calculation that we assign to it to generate the final result. So what's really happening is the if function checks to see if the total number of habits in C17 is greater than the sum of the number of habits that are supposed to be completed each week times 5. If this test is true, we get 0. If not, then we get the sum of habits that are supposed to be completed times 5 minus the number of completed habits. But why do we write the formula this way? Basically, this formula just prevents the incomplete number from going below 0 in the case that we perform more habits than the goal that we've set for them. And now we can calculate the complete and incomplete numbers for each week. Select the first merged cell under week 1 and enter the formula equals COUNTIF function F6 through L15, next argument true, close parentheses and press enter. The COUNTIF function again just counts any checkboxes that are equivalent to true or are checked. Now for the number below, we're going to reuse our complicated formula from before. So select cell C18 and copy, then select the second merged cell under week 1, right-click, paste special, formula only. And now you just need to make a tiny change to the formula. Simply delete the times 5 and you've got it. Awesome. Now select both of the merged cells and copy. Then select the cells under week 2, right-click, paste special, formula only. Then select the cells under week 3 and do the same thing. Select the cells under week 4, same thing. Select the cells under week 5 and paste the formula only. Awesome. Now let's calculate the percentage and progress charts. Start in cell C20 and enter the following formula. Equals if function C17 equals 0, next argument 0, next argument C17 divided by, open parentheses, C17 plus C18, close parentheses twice, and press enter. The if function first checks if the completed habit number is 0. If so, you get 0. Otherwise, it divides that number by the total number of habit occurrences to give you the percent complete. Now, for the progress bar on the left, enter the following formula. Equals sparkline function C20, next argument, open bracket, quote, chart type, quote, comma, quote, bar, quote, semicolon, quote, max, quote, comma, 1, semicolon, quote, color 1, quote, comma, quote, pound sign B4A 7D6, quote, close bracket, close parentheses, and press enter. The sparkline function takes the value in C20 and turns it into a chart. The parameters we've included in the second argument tell the function what kind of chart to make and how it should look. The chart type parameter is set to bar to give you a horizontal bar chart. The max, which is the bar's total potential length, is set to 1 or 100%. And the color of the bar is set with this hex code to give you a nice purple. Now for the weekly percentages. You can actually just select cell C20 and copy, then select the cell under week 1, right-click, paste special, and select formula only, then do the exact same thing for the other weeks as well. Awesome. Now for the progress charts on the bottom. Let's begin with week 1. Start by selecting the complete and incomplete numbers, then go to Insert, Chart. Under Chart Type, select Doughnut Chart, then uncheck Switch Rows and Columns, click on Customize, and under Chart Style, set the border color to None. Under Pie Slice, for Slice 1, set the color to Dark Blue 1. For Slice 2, set the color to Light Blue 3. Then under Legend, select None, and you can now move and resize the chart to fit under the white box. Okie dokie. We do all of the other progress charts the exact same way. I'll walk you through the first one and then show you the rest of them. So for week 2, select the complete and incomplete numbers, go to Insert, Chart, and under Chart Type, select Doughnut Chart, then uncheck Switch Rows and Columns, click on Customize, and under Chart Style, set the border color to None. Under Pie Slice, for Slice 1, set the color to Dark Yellow 2, and for Slice 2, set the color to Light Yellow 3. Then under Legend, select None. You can now move and resize the chart to fit under the white box. And now just do the other 3 progress charts the exact same way. Awesome. Now there's just one more thing I want to address about this tracker, and that is how to add space for more habits. All you have to do is select a number of rows in the middle, right-click, and insert rows. And that's pretty much all there is to it. Thank you so much for completing this build with me. I hope you had fun and learned along the way. And if you'd like another awesome build, then check out this video next, and I will see you there.